So I haven't seen all of James Franco's roles, but I gotta say, out of all the films I've seen him in, I think this is his best role out of any of them. And I think James Franco, weirdly enough, like I didn't really see him like whenever they announced that he would be Tommy Wiseau, I did not expect him to be that. Like I didn't think he really reminded me of him, but like whenever you see him with the long black Tommy Wiseau hair, he looks so close to him and he talks so close to him. But to be fair, that accent that he has isn't something that's hard to recreate. But I feel like James Franco is did a really fantastic job as pretending to be Tommy Wiseau. Um, and the movie itself was fantastic. I thought that it's the funniest movie I've seen all year. I think that all of the whole story is interesting because I've seen The Room and I watched it recently for the first time, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. It was fucking insane. It was something that did not make any damn sense at all, and it was hilarious. It was a little boring at times, but I didn't, I wasn't completely hooked the whole time in terms of how bad it was. But I can see exactly why people think it's one of the best bad movies or the best bad movie ever. So I watched that because The Disaster Artist was coming out, and I kept hearing good things about it. Like the movie was apparently really good, and yeah, it really is. It really is a fantastic comedy, fantastic biography, which I never knew anything about Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero and anything about besides that movie. Like I didn't know anything before I saw the movie about it. I still don't know anything until I watched this movie. Um, and I feel like most of it is completely accurate because they painstakingly made the accuracy in recreating the scenes from The Room with these actors in this movie, which is commendable, by the way. It looks so they seem so close to the material that The Room was, but it was really fantastic on that note, and the story is really interesting. I really like how even though James Franco is credited first in a lot of things, Dave Franco is really the star in a way. Like James Franco is the one that will be the one remembered, but Dave Franco is the one who is Greg Sestero, the person who is actually not quote unquote crazy. And he's the one who has the actual literal story. And Tommy Wiseau does too, but not in a way like it's an arc. I liked how Greg Sestero, he really in this movie, like they really did a cool job of showing him building up to becoming friends with Tommy, and then after you realize how long they're friends and they move to LA and they move and try to become actors. And I love how they keep like it shows their progression really well, and it shows how the ups and downs, and it shows how whenever, say for example, Greg gets a girlfriend who he marries and moves in with, played by Dave Franco's actual wife, Alison Brie, who's great. That's cool seeing her in this movie. It has that where Greg is having a life and trying to escape from this movie that's being made, but he keeps being pulled in by Tommy, or Greg is arrogant and he despite getting other options to do something else besides the movie, which he knows is going to suck, he stays a good friend and does it anyways for Tommy. And it's interesting in how, like I said, the story is about more about Greg than Tommy. But like I said, Tommy does have something at the end, but it isn't like the whole story is technically centered on him. You just see the batshit stuff that Tommy Wiseau does, while Greg Sestero watches and is more and more as the movie goes on, either crazed or sad and trying to get away from Tommy's movie, which, like I said, they know is going to suck, all except for Tommy. And I thought that was a really cool. I thought that was a really cool way of, even though this is probably really really accurate. I like how this story really does show a good way to have this character deal with this guy, his friend, but you really see how insane Tommy Wiseau is, and if it's that accurate, man, that there are a lot of things that he did in this movie that were really crazy. Like he just the way Tommy Wiseau works is the way Tommy Wiseau works. He doesn't. It seems like he doesn't have a reason. And I should have looked up if there's anything like related online to why he's like this, or if he's explained it somewhere. But if it's true at the end said where he didn't, you don't know his actual age or where he's from. That's interesting. If that guy is still legitimately, you don't know anything about him. That's interesting. He's such a mysterious being, but he's a weird being. Like he is one of the great definitions of an on Earth alien, where he is so out of place, and it makes no sense. Almost 99% of the time, what he is saying to anybody or how he is acting to anybody. Um, like for example, like whenever he's doing the movie and like everybody's complaining that it's too hot and they need water, and like he screams at him like that they don't need water, and then he points out stuff related to Greg that he's mad about at the moment, and like it's not making literal sense in how this guy is thinking about this situation. It's just it's it's really out there, and it's hard to explain without actually seeing it, because you've got to see to believe how crazy this guy is. And I'm not saying crazy and like he's dangerous. I'm just saying or I don't like him. I'm just saying crazy as in he is indecipherable. Like he is interesting, and it's an interesting human being, and I want to know more about him, but I don't know if we'll know because he doesn't tell. It seems like I if that's true at the end, like I said, where it didn't say if people really do not know his age and know where he's from. He's a mysterious, crazy being. Um, but I thought that this did a great job of showing that and showing the story of these two friends with this movie and what happens at the end whenever they go to the premiere. And I think that it is really interesting because it describes how people do feel about the movie The Room today. And I think that it's really cool that we got a movie about this, and we got really, really, really great acting. Like James Franco's performance is outstanding, and Dave Franco is really good. I've seen Dave Franco in other things, but he's really good in this. You really feel for him, even though he's playing a real person. Like you feel for how this character is, how he is in the situation. Like you understand completely why, and it's just because of the good acting that Dave Franco does in this movie. And there are so many damn cameos, and I loved them all. I thought they were all cool. Like Melanie Griffith is in here, Zac Efron. There's like a billion people that are just randomly in this movie, and I think that that's cool. I think that that's funny because the movie is really comedic on purpose. And a lot of these actors that just come in are really funny in the scenes or in the seconds they are in the movie. But it was really really awesome. I love this. It was a cool biography of something that I did not know about, and I'm so glad that I got the privilege to see this and learn a little more about this mysterious being and his relationship to Greg Sestero, and just with the great performances. I think this is really really one of the best movies of the year. I think it has fantastic performances. It's a great story, and it's just interesting the whole way through, and just all around fantastic. I really really loved it. It's better than the movie The Room, of course. You would have expected that, right? But but yeah, it was just fantastic. That's all pretty much all I have to say. But I loved it so much. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Check out my other stuff, and I'll talk to you next time.